Ladies and gentlemen, we are live again on this Facebook Live today. All right, in this, what is today? February 21st, right? The 21st of February. We are very fortunate from the Sedona office, okay, up there in lovely Arizona, Sedona, Arizona. We are here with Sonya Ashford. Sonya, welcome to the show. I feel necessary to mention that you are in the positive energy vortex of the universe, which I think if you've ever been there, you can understand that that is actually true.
Yes. Yeah, you should have been here yesterday. We had a great meeting yesterday and all the positive vibes flowing in the office.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, tell us a little about yourself. How long you've been doing this and all that good stuff, please.
Yes. So I am going on 2 years in real estate. I started in April 4th of 2022. And, I had considered getting into real estate when I was kind of coming out of being a stay-at-home mom for a time. I had mostly worked in the service industry in restaurants and bars, serving and bartending. I did also go to NAU and have a degree in human behavior. And a lot of what I focused on that was with social work. I worked with kids, but that was very, very demanding. So I kind of found myself back in serving. And then as I grew my family, was able to take some time off. That was also during COVID. So it just kind of made sense because it got slow and all that. So coming out of that anyway, I knew I didn't want to go back into being in restaurants and bars and wanted to see what more I could do with a career. And actually, I was talking to our manager, Patrick Clark, the other day, kind of having a little venting session about I was going through a hard time at the moment. And I was like, I got into real estate because I thought, what is the quickest thing I can do, the cheapest thing I can do? It's going to have, potential limitless for income. What is that? And that's kind of where I landed at real estate. Plus, I was looking at the last year to 2 years of the market going crazy, and I'm like, yes, let's do this. I went through pre-licensing, got my license in April, and things changed very quickly. So interest rates went way up. Inventory started to go down as people were hanging on to their homes. We saw prices were some areas saw decreases, but we kind of are like in a bubble here. So our prices, which had been really elevated from those past 2 years, coupled with the high interest rates, we don't have to get into the market details, but it went to a very difficult place in real estate, I think, from what I heard. I don't know. I didn't know any different. So I just started doing my thing. And now here we are 2 years later, and I'm still here. I think that's pretty good because I stopped doing social work after about 3 months. I threw in the towel. So I'm here and loving it.
And you're doing it full time, and you're, one of the excellent producers out of that office, and you have some really good role models too, right? So you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yeah.
So tell us a little about. Okay, so you're obviously doing. I mean, like you said, you're doing well enough to not be able to do something else, not have a part-time job, and so forth, which is great. And you're also, I see your social media, and I see you're out there doing, all kinds of wonderful things and doing business from it. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how do you do business in this market? Which you're right. In the last 2 years, I mean, what everybody has to understand is I've been doing this it's my 39th year. From April of 2020 to just about the end of 2021, so let's call it 18 months, was the best 18 months in the history of real estate ever recorded, especially in Arizona, property selling 200,000 over asking, crazy stuff going on, right? So now we're back to a more normal, even maybe slightly slower than normal because of the interest rates, but that's starting to change. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, this year definitely started off at a different pace than last year, but still, you have to get out, you have to hustle today to do business. Would you agree?
Yes. So I think that I was in a very good place to be able to commit myself to real estate full time because of the structure of my husband's schedule. Like, honestly, I mean, the reason why I got in this is to couple my life with my career. And that is what my focus is. So he is a firefighter. So he works generally 2 days on and 4 days off. So we can have, like, our youngest, one of our kids is in school, but one of them is not. We can have him in daycare for only 2 days a week, and he can be with him the rest of the time, which most families, they're working 9 to 5 jobs. And if someone wanted to commit themselves to real estate, as much as you can be flexible with your schedule, you really need time, like, to actually work, to not just have your kids in the background the entire time. And I don't know if he had a more regular schedule that I would have the funds to be able to send my kids to daycare full time. And so that right off the bat helped me. Second of all is, that I do have his income as well. So that has helped to supplement, but every family has seen how times have gotten hard in the last couple of years, and we are becoming, not to get too personal, but we are becoming needing my income. So I knew that I had to, get to work, to focus, to be consistent. And luckily throughout the company, but I'm going to say, especially in our office, we have so many opportunities for trainings. And so I was learning so much. It got me to be in the office, which has put me in a different mind frame of working, of staying consistent and following the steps, because it can be very discouraging at times.
Yeah, you have a great manager there, Patrick Clark, who's definitely good at training. Was a really good agent himself. And now he still does a few deals, and he's running that office up there, which is great. He also, where is it? He also does a little in Flag too, which I think is they definitely got rocked with snow recently.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyway, so okay, right. So you have training and you have the atmosphere, but you're right. There's still a certain amount of rejection, right, in the business that you have to get used to.
Yeah, and that's been hard because I am honestly, the 5 love languages. Not just in my relationship, but just as a person, I need affirmation. So I need to know that I'm doing a good job. I need to get that reaction from people to ensure me, and to keep me positive and to keep going. And so, I was humbled by that several times door knocking,
Right.
surrounding listings. But I have a why. I know why I'm doing this. I have goals. And you know what? I'm never going to see half of those people, or 90% of the people who have that type of reaction to me, when I face that rejection. And I just have to, move on, go past it. They don't know me from Adam. So,
Right.
and Brandon, why I am not remembering his last name at the time being, another one of our managers here in Arizona.
Brendan Cohen.
He said, Cohen, yes. Okay, so he's like, just try it. Just say something. You're never gonna. Everybody has to perfect those scripts when you're engaging with people and talking with people. And I've picked up things and started to really hone in those scripts and incorporate those catchphrases that you say all the time. But if something didn't work, just try something else. And if it didn't work, then keep going and keep perfecting that. And every time you're going to get better. And I realized that I had to let go of, who I thought I needed to be when I was like meeting people, the type of service or that I thought they wanted, and be true to myself, be who I was, and offer the services that I know that I'm good at. And then also bring in other people for the things that I'm not so good at, like staying on top of the paperwork with my transaction coordinator. She saved my life. So that helps me to be able to be with the people.
Right.
That sounds, but be out there.
No, I agree. I think it's great. No, and like you said earlier, having a why, will keep you going through the rejection. As salespeople, we have to understand rejection isn't bad. It's necessary. It's part of the process. It's part of the sales process, right? The more rejection you get, the more acceptance you'll get. So you just have to train. It's like creating a new habit for yourself, right? To get through it. Having the why gives you the motivation to do it. But I do agree with Brandon too. When something's not working, say something out. Be yourself between the lines of the open-ended questions on the scripts, I would say, is the easiest way to say it. And if you're yourself consistently, you're going to, and this is me talking to me when I started. If I'm going to be myself consistently, I'm going to attract a certain amount of people and I'm going to repel a certain amount of people. It's just the way life is, right? So it's like social media. You do videos, some people love it, some people don't. You just have to
Mm.
keep going and see what works for you.
And that's okay. Honestly, if you're being true to yourself, am I frozen, by the way?
You are frozen. I wasn't going to say
Okay.
anything because I wasn't sure if it was just on my side. Paul,
Um,
she's frozen.
yeah. Can you hear me? You can hear me though.
There you
Okay, there we
go.
go. I'll just keep talking. Um, so if you're being true to yourself and you're repelling those few, hopefully small subsection of the population, then that's great because that's showing you the people who are not going to, you know, commit to you. You want your people. Okay. So,
Right.
I mean, as soon as you figure out the people who are not, then you can give more to the people who want to work with you and who see that value.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Agree 100%.
No, I'm black. It's all black.
I wonder if it's got to be the Wi-Fi. Paul, should she dial back in or what do you think?
Yeah. She should just hang up and dial back in and
Sonia,
try
hang
it.
up and dial back in. We'll wait for you,
Yeah,
obviously,
it's the internet, yeah, connection.
since we're live. And that's such a great point for us to focus on is that you are going to attract a certain amount of people and repel a certain amount. It's just part of the gig. There she is. And you just have to accept it. So I was just explaining what you just said was a certain amount of the world is going to accept you, a certain amount is going to reject. That's why you just consistently be yourself because like with social media, you keep adding people that stick. Don't worry about everybody. Some people are going to unfriend you. My little joke is they're not your real friends anyway. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Right? Am I
I
right?
know it's the girl I met in a concert bathroom in 2010 still on my timeline.
Right, exactly. I still have her in my timeline, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess if I met a girl in the bathroom, that no, never mind. All right, so that would be bad. All right, so tell us, and I see your videos, and I see you have a plan for social media, and it's obviously working. So tell us a little about that, please.
Yeah, so what I've been trying to do and it's something I'm really trying hard to commit to is switching up, but also creating consistency in my social media. So I made it into this big mountain when it was really a molehill, and it was one of those things that I thought it had to be perfect. And
Right.
and when it's not good enough for me, quote unquote, um, then I freeze and I don't do it. And then when I don't do it, then I get overwhelmed and then it compiles. So with my social media, I am just trying to be committed with posting, um, 2 to 3 times a week. Honestly, I know we could do more, but I want to do something that I know I can tackle and then work those steps in. So the type of content that I'm wanting to put out is definitely like educational but fun. And so I have been doing more informational videos where I go over things like what is a lender looking at before they pre-qualify you for a loan, or um, just those questions that buyers have, but it's a little more, it's not as like fun. I've learned it's not as engaging as some of the just silly um, lip syncing videos and things like that. So ultimately, it's just trying to create consistent content that is going to get your face out there. And honestly, it has to have worked a little bit because I do have people contacting me that I have not reached out to in my sphere, and that shows me another insecurity lies, because all the things that we don't do, I think mostly come from being insecure or scared. Um, so people that I haven't reached out to in my sphere are now contacting me, and people that I'm not even on we don't see each other on day-to-day basis. I may run into them at the grocery store, and I haven't actually seen them for 2 years, but I've known them for a very long time, and they're reaching out to me. So I know the only way that they're really seeing it is from my social media. And
Right.
then every time I go out, people are like, "Oh, I love your social media. It's so funny." I'm like, "Oh, I would click like next time." But so I know people are seeing it. So I am having measures that it's working. And so I'm starting to see that, and that's helping me to stay consistent with it.
Good. Yeah, and the whole idea is when you're talking to them, when you're seeing them, when they see you on social media, all that stuff, and they're getting drips from you from the VAC because it sounds like you use that too, which is great. So all of this, you're creating your own network of people, and you're constantly reminding them what you do. And I see people that are agents or whatever at my gym, and they see my stuff on social media, or I see theirs. And you're like, hey, I know you, right? So it's just another tool to use to keep you in front of people, reminding them what you do. And I don't know what it is about video, and you probably experience this now too. When they see you on video before they actually meet you, they treat you totally different, don't they? They really do.
Yeah, it's kind of like we know each other more.
Right.
You already kind of you know their mannerisms, and I'm probably a lot more, you know, I cut loose a little more on social media than when I'm on the phone and I'm first talking with a client. You have kind of that professionalism, and that's something I'm trying to incorporate. My personality with my professionalism, and then I think people see that more on social media, so they feel more comfortable when you're initially meeting.
Agreed. Agreed. All right. So you've been in it for a couple years now. You're obviously doing very well. Congratulations. So if I'm an
Thank you.
agent trying to take it to the next level, or a new agent coming out of the gate, what would be the top three things you tell them to focus on?
Yeah. Well, we hit on it a bit, and we didn't get to mention, but I was lucky enough when I signed on with Berkshire that I also became a part of Nisreen Hawley's team, which we are not an official team. We are a group of individual agents who have, a really good working relationship with each other, and we can rely on each other and, ask
Nisreen's the
questions.
best.
And yeah, and Nisreen, I mean, she is just complete rock star. And honestly, with her, I mean, now it's, I guess, like 5, 6 years ago when she started back into real estate, but almost kind of at ground zero. So to see where, I mean, that's inspiring to see where she is now, at least, number 2 in the office. We're still waiting for the end of year numbers to come out. So, or not the office, excuse me, in Arizona. So we're waiting for those numbers to come out. But having a mentor, somebody that, we do have broker on call, we have our managers, but there are so many nuances in real estate. This was a whole new world to me. Like I said, I came from service. I had cash in my wallet at the end of the day. I had cash in my wallet the other day, and I almost took a picture of it because it looked so foreign in there. But don't work off cash anymore. But having somebody that I can call almost at any hour of the night and ask them these questions, because all these nuances, they may seem like little details, and you come across so many different things in each transaction. You need to have somebody that's experienced that you can talk these things through with, and most of the time you're making a bigger thing of it in your head, but having access to a mentor is, I think crucial.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
and
number.
she's an awesome example, and she's also very good at social media. And let's face it, Sonya, she has the best cupcakes on the planet.
Oh yes, we get to do coffee dates and cupcakes at her house, so
I
that's
love it.
really.
Yeah. The last time I was up there doing a little talk, she did. Remember, we all had lunch together. She uh,
Mhm.
she made me some like citrusy. I can't remember what they were called exactly, but they were incredible. I tried
Yeah.
to only have one, but I couldn't. I had to have two.
I don't know if this is like sacrilegious, but I have to tell you, I am partial to her baklava. Have you ever had her baklava?
Ooh. Yes, I know what baklava is. Yes, that's awesome. I
Delicious.
love it. I love it. Baklava is good too, and really good treat for after dinner. All right, what's number 2 on your list, please?
Number two is stay consistent. And that does not mean that you are going to be able to give it 100% every day. I mean, obviously, that's our goal. You want to be your best, and, that's what you want to strive for. But consistency, it looks like this. One day you're up here, and then, oh, wait, this is backwards. Okay. Then you're here. I'm going the wrong way. There you go. And so it staggers, but each day you're filling that bucket a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, and when you are not consistent, I think it's very easy in real estate to slip out of it very quickly. Just the mindset, I would say, slip out of that mindset.
Yeah, so true. Consistency is the key in pretty much everything we do, whether it's health or mindset or real estate. Everything, consistency is the key. You don't have to be perfect. It just has to be done, and that's how you do it. You get in. Some days you feel great about doing it. Other days you feel okay. Other days you don't feel okay, but you still have to go through the motions every single day. Absolutely. All right, what would be number 3?
And then number three, I would say have clear goals. I think, one, I actually saw a video that you had put out recently that you say you always have your next vacation planned, and you always know where you're going to go, because then you are working towards something. If
Right.
and I'm still working on that, because honestly, I'm not saying this to brag, but I am I have a lot of work to do, but I am way further than I could have ever expected to be, not only specifically in real estate, but like in my life. I feel like I'm doing a lot better than I ever imagined. So it's hard for me to have those big, clear goals, because it's almost like I'm I'm just, hoping it doesn't end, and I'm just, carrying along, chugging along. But when I have started to, whether it's a daily revenue commitment, or, how many phone calls you're going to make a day, or when you're going to take your next vacation, or how much sales you want to do by the end of the year, having that specific goal is going to help you get there. It's just like with home buyers, I think, they they want to buy a house, and they keep saying, oh, well, I have to fix my credit, and I want to save up a little more money, and then years go by. I know some people, and it's been years that they've wanted to buy a house, and I want to help them with that plan, because if you don't have that plan, it's not going to happen. You have to make clear and concise steps to get there. So
Right. Yeah, and it's like setting the mental GPS every day too. When you know what those goals are. For me and my wife, we set vacations, so we get excited about it. And I don't count the days necessarily, but I definitely look
yeah.
forward to it, and it gives me the juice to show up every day. And early on in life, it was vacations and skiing and doing things with my kids, and now it's more there. So whatever it is, you got to have a goal, and you got to know what's necessary to get there. And I will tell you, as far as pinching yourself and saying, "Oh my God, look where I am," that's great. That's a great attitude to have. Humility, I think, is awesome. But understand, Sonya, as long as you keep walking down the path, you're going to get further down the path. Unless you turn around and go the other way or self-sabotage, there's no reason why you can't go and keep climbing higher and higher. So congratulations on that.
And I think this, just kind of wrap that up. This beginning of this year has, and the things that are starting to transpire have opened my eyes and my mind to that you know what, I am very capable. I can do this, and I have no limits.
Right.
So that is a really cool like breakthrough. And every year in real estate, I'm learning so much more, and in every breakthrough is just amazing. It's great.
It's great. You're a self-employed solo entrepreneur, and you're doing it every single day. Or as Jay-Z would say, I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. I
Yeah, I
love
am
that
a
saying.
business. It's all
It's
about
one of
my
my
business.
favorites. I saw him interviewed with Uncle Warren Buffett, and he said that line, and I was like, that is the best line ever. I will be using it always. I think it's in one of his songs, actually, too. All right, Sonya, any final words you want to leave these lovely people out here in Facebook land?
Oh, I'm just really happy to be here. I love the opportunity to get to sit and talk with you, and just hoping everybody out there is having a great day and stay positive. And I hope that, you know, a little tidbit of what I've experienced through these last couple of years for, you know, those watching, were able to take something from that.
Well, I agree with you. I think your positive energy and positive attitude and so forth is contagious. So thank you very much for taking your time out today. And I'm sure people got more than a couple of tidbits. They may even got a couple morsels out of this.
Oh, thank
Thanks
you.
for your time, Sonya.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Talk to you soon.